welcome back. I hope you are just being a sponge, soaking up all this information, definitely taking notes, write down any questions you have. But I hope you're ready to continue on here. We're going to talk about growing your social media following. Because, like we had talked about in the inviting video, you are going to be inviting people who are coming into your shop. You're going to be inviting people who are liking your posts, commenting on your post, watching your stories, and you're going to be inviting those people. And eventually, you'll be inviting so many people that you're going to run out of people to invite unless you're consistently growing your social media following. So again, I don't want this to sound or to seem like weird or uncomfortable. I truly, seriously in my soul, I truly think of this as just making new friends, because I want to say 90% of the people I bring on, both customers and coaches, I meet through social media. It's very rare that I actually, it's very rare for me personally to have like a friend or a family member, especially at this point in my business 5 years later, that are signing up. So they're people that I've met online, and you know what? Sounds cheesy as it will. Some of these people have become like my second family. So don't see it as, you're just kind of creeping random people. You're truly just genuinely trying to make new friends. And again, if you see it in that way, and then you see yourself just sharing something that you've loved, that you found that you love, that works for you, you're sharing that with your new friends, that's how this business goes. So just making new friends, just sharing what you have found that works for you. So I'm going to talk really quickly about growing your friend list on Facebook and growing your followers list on Instagram. So one way you can do this is, especially for Instagram, you can go to another account, usually like a celebrity or another influencer that has a really good following that fits your niche, but of course is not already a Beachbody coach, because if they're already a Beachbody coach, they probably already have Beachbody people or people they've talked to about Beachbody on their page. So you want to think of, you can just start digging. It doesn't have to be like a famous person. It can just be somebody who has like a really good following, like 10, 20,000 people who are in your niche. So depending, your niche is your brand, those 5 things that make you you. Find somebody who fits into that market, because it's likely, because if you have something in common with that account, you're likely going to have that same thing in common with their followers, right? So just for example, I'll do like a celebrity like Jessica Simpson, right? I love her Christmas album from 20 years ago, and she's a mom. So I might go to her page. Now I'm not going to just follow her followers. I'm going to take it one step further, and I'm going to go to her page, and I'm going to find a post of hers, a recent post that speaks to me. So I think I did this the other day, and I went to a post where she was talking about her kids. Like, it was a picture of her kids, and she was talking about being a mom. And because it's likely that people who are liking and commenting on that post are also moms themselves. And moms, are people that I can connect with. So I might go through the list of people who liked that post, and I'm going to follow X amount of people. You might bop around through different accounts in a given day, but you want, just like with inviting, you want to come up with a number that feels right to you. You want to come up with a number of people to follow each day. I try to go between 30 and 50 people every following 30 to 50 people new every single day. So I'm going to go through that list of people who liked that post that relates to me, that's about being a mom. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to like between 30 and 50 of those people, depending on how big the list is. I'm going to look at their page really quickly before I send the follow request. I'm going to make sure they look like somebody who would be in my niche. Maybe have their profile pictures of them and their kid. So I'm definitely going to follow those people. I'm going to make sure, like, in their bio, if I can even read their bio, it doesn't say anything about being a Beachbody coach. So you just want to, find people who you feel like you can relate to, who will relate to you. But this should be a quick task. I don't want you spending 20 minutes really digging through each person's page and their bio to see if they will jive with you. This, in order to follow 30 people, it should take you no longer than like 15 minutes. So it should be quick. I definitely follow the people who have a profile picture of them and their kid. Just open up their page really quick, make sure they're not already a Beachbody coach, and follow them. So you can go to other influencers, like I said, who have a big following. You can go to celebrities like Jessica Simpson. The other one I do sometimes is, I love like all the TLC shows. So there's one about Outdaughtered, and they have quintuplets, again, being a mom. And so I follow the mom of that show. She's really cool. She's really down to earth. I feel like we could be best friends in real life. And so I will follow the people who are commenting and liking on like her mom posts. You can also go to friends of friends or followers. Maybe there's a girl from high school that you went to high school with who really fits your niche, who you've already invited. She said no. For the time being, she's not joining you, but there's likely to be people who are following her who you would jive with, because maybe she's a mom or she's a nurse or whatever it is that makes, your brand you. So not only would you possibly have that like occupation in common, or maybe like a hobby that you two share, but you also share that mutual friend, right? And so, like I'm going to say, like if somebody is really good friends with my friend Susie, like I'm probably going to like her friends because they're probably like me too if we're both friends with Susie. So again, not necessarily just her followers list or just her friends list. Go to a post that resonates with you, that, feels right to you, and follow or friend request the people who are liking and commenting on that post. You can also go to like locations. So for example, my oldest, my 4-year-old, he goes to like a kids gym. It's called My Gym. And so I've found that a lot of the followers who are following the different locations of My Gyms are the moms of the kids who attend this camp or this gym, right? So I've gone to a lot of the My Gym accounts on Instagram, like in my area, in my state, and I have followed a lot of those moms because, again, they're moms and we have a common interest of moms and sending our kid to this gym class. So locations, friends of friends or friends of followers, and celebrities, both for Facebook and Instagram. Another one for Facebook specifically is like the people you may know. So how Facebook will generate a list like based upon the people who you're friends with. They're like, wait a second, if Brooke knows Susie and Sally knows Susie, maybe Brooke knows, Sally, and they don't even know that they both know each other. So going through your people you may know list is also a great way to add more people because Facebook generates that list based on mutual friends. So there's so many different ways that you can be adding. You want to be adding every single day. This is a very quick task. I would say I spend about 15 minutes doing between 30 and 15. Obviously, between 30 and 50. 15 minutes to add between 30 and 50 people. Just like anything else, it gets quicker and easier the more you do it. But there's an endless amount of ways that you can add to your network, and you want to be consistently adding to your network, because when you're adding to your network, those new people, especially if they're people you've never met, they're going to start watching your stories. They're going to start paying close attention to your posts. And so they're going to kind of almost be like turning into a warm market without you even knowing quite yet. That's why it's important to be consistent on your page and show up consistently and share the real you, because these people are going to be getting to know you before you've even probably chatted with them. And so you want those people to start becoming warm market, because eventually your warm market's going to die out. And then you're bringing in these new people who are becoming a warm market, and then you can, invite them, and then they kind of die off. So there's this constant flow of bringing in new people, turning them warm, inviting them, bringing in new people, turning them into warm market, inviting them, right? You never want to be at a loss of people to invite because you don't have enough people watching your stuff. You always want to have new eyes on your content. Don't overthink it. It's an easy task. This should be one of like the easy peasy ones you can kind of do, while you're multitasking something else. This should be something that you can do every single day because it doesn't take a lot of thought process. Then once people follow you back, you want to do what I like to call a 3-2-1 system. So, say Susie follows you back today, you're going to go and show her some love, and you're going to kind of start this relationship with her. So you go to her page, you want to like 3 of her photos, 3 of her more recent photos. Don't just like the third to last one, second to last one, and the most recent one because it's easy. Look, take a solid 60 seconds, look at her page, find 3 newish posts that resonate with you, that you really like them. Put a comment on 2 of the somewhat recent posts. And when I say a comment, like a genuine comment, not like, hey, that's cool, or super, super pretty, but like really start engaging with them. So maybe they're posting a picture of their kid's birthday party. And you could be like, happy birthday, you know their child's name, like, happy birthday, Sam. I hope you guys had the best day ever. Like really taking the time to take a genuine interest in their page and what they're all about. Maybe they went on vacation, you could say, instead of saying like, that's so pretty, talking about their picture of like the sunset. That's so pretty. Where did you go on vacation? Notice like the question, and when you ask a question, they're going to be compelled to write back, and you can, start that rapport, establishing that rapport. But when you take the time to comment, that really sends the message that like you are taking a genuine interest in their page. Because I know I tend to remember the comments more than just the likes, right? So you're going to like 3 of their most recent posts, comment, a genuine comment, maybe you ask a question on 2 of their more recent posts, and then you're going to send them a message, likely a message that has to do with one of the posts that you liked or commented on. So like, maybe she wrote back and said they took a trip to Virginia, whatever. You could write to her and say, hey, Sarah, I totally love your page. I saw where you said that you went to Virginia. That's really cool. I've never been there. Would you recommend I take my family there on vacation? Just starting a conversation. It doesn't have to be weird or awkward. You're just building a relationship. You're just making a new friend. Like I said, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So if this person is like totally closed off and thinks you're weird and ignores you or gives you some rude remark, then they're not part of your tribe. They're not somebody who you want in your circle anyway, right? Majority of people are gonna welcome this conversation, especially if you have those things in common, and you're just gonna start a rapport and you're gonna talk to them. And then that conversation starter might lead to other things. Maybe you talk about your jobs, maybe you talk about where you're from, maybe you talk about how old your kids are. And then eventually they're gonna come into your circle again. They're gonna like one of your posts, they're gonna watch your stories, and that's personally when I would invite them, if the conversation doesn't already come up on its own when we're kind of having that initial contact. So when people are liking you back, you're showing them some love, starting a relationship, starting a conversation, and either that conversation is just going to naturally flow into an invite because they're going to ask you about what you do, or they're going to ask you about your invitation to their boot camp post that you did yesterday, and it's going to kind of come naturally. If it doesn't come naturally, once they step inside my shop again, they're liking my stuff, following my stuff, I'm going to just naturally kind of take that next step and invite them because they're a new friend, right? They're a new friend and you found something that you love, so why not just pay it forward and invite them to join you, right? It's simple. That's it. So you just constantly want to make sure that you are growing your following so that you constantly have an influx of new people to watch your stuff, to engage with, and to invite. That's the end of this video. Make sure that you go through the little checklist under here to make sure you've done all of the things. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I'm so excited for you. We're getting so much closer to really feeling like you have all of the tools in your toolbox to really get your business off the ground and running. That's it. I'll talk to you soon.